new vibes. We have exclusive Ghanaian content right here for you since it's GH month on MX24 TV. And throughout this week, we'll be throwing the spotlight on my region. As you already know, throughout the month of March, we said we are celebrating Ghanaian content. And the first week of March on the AM Club, we did the Northern region. Second week, we did Ashanti region. Last week, we did the Greater Accra region. And this week, we're doing the Volta region where I come from. So look out for Coffee Daily. It is our very first segment of the show. Let me tell you, we are recapping the topmost trending stories in the world in the last 24 hours, including the fact that government has officially launched Kwehu Festival. The Easter Kwehu festivities are back after 2 years. We'll be telling you all about it, including the fact that some very interesting thing happened in Adenta and it's been circulating on social media. I'll also tell you about it. But after Coffee Daily, of course, you know that we have Lifestyle Daily, where we'll be discussing financial management practices, especially for young workers and those earning low income. So a couple of, was it just last week I was talking to Edmund, I was like, Edma, I can't believe it, but in 2 weeks I've spent 10,000 Ghana cedis. And ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't account for what I did with that money. I tried and tried and tried. At least I knew what I did with 3K, but the 7K, I didn't know what I did with it. So I'm very interested in having this conversation, financial management practices for young workers and low-income workers. I don't know if I'm a low-income worker, but our hashtag today is Motivation Monday. And on today's episode, we are hosting a special guest all the way from Uganda. She's a media personality, and her name is Sheila Carol Gashumba. You don't want to miss out on that. And today is World Poetry Day, ladies and gentlemen, meaning that we're certainly plugging you into some poets. We'll be hosting some poets who will also be performing live on the plug today. I can't wait for that. I love spoken word, and I'm sure you do too. You really can't miss out. Remember, you are a major part of the show, so please connect with us online. We'd like to hear from you. The hashtag is the AM Club. So hashtag the AM Club on all our social media handles at MX24GH and all our platforms. Now, don't also forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at MX24GH. You can also reach us via our WhatsApp number. The number is 055-033-1511, 055-033-1511. Sending your comments, your reactions to everything we discuss or cover here on the show today. Also, let me remind you that our Goodness Moment segment is still on. Malta Guinness, in partnership with MX24 TV, is rewarding people doing amazingly well for themselves and their community. So that segment is on. You don't want to miss it. Hashtag My Daily Dose of Vim is up next. What keeps you inspired? What keeps you going? What is it that, what's your mojo? What is it that keeps you going throughout your day and throughout your week and throughout the month and throughout the year? We'd like to hear from you. Share it with us. Okay? Send it to our WhatsApp number 055-033-1511, 033-1511. And in line with World Poetry Day, our daily dose of Vim is a spoken word from one of our guests on the plug, Vitus Speaks. He calls it Invisible. Please enjoy. I'll be right back.
Theory that this world is full of invisible people striving to be seen. And though you actually possess a unique face, answer to a unique name, and have a distinct voice, you never really feel visible because everyone else has one of those. And so there is this inherent, inexplicable desire to find something that makes you visible, that's one thing that gives you an identity among humanity. And so the search begins. We are all on a search and rescue mission to search within ourselves and rescue our inner self from being lost in the crowd. For even more scary than death itself is the thought of being alive and yet not seen. And so the search goes on. So some have tried to find their visibility on social media by doing anything for views and likes, but in no time we scroll past their pictures and videos and their visibility is short-lived. They become invisible again. Some have tried to attain visibility through stacks of cash only to realize that money only amplifies you if you already held an identity. And so without any known identity, having money only makes you a mobile money wallet. Some have sought visibility from fancy clothes and shoes only to realize that mannequins wear all of those and still have no identity. You are just a part of a giant mannequin challenge. See, others have searched for their identity in their bodies by accentuating their body curves and muscle cuts and belly packs, but sadly old age is no respecter of hip breasts, so in no time their identity falls under the spell of menopause. Still others have tried to gain identity from things like notoriety, controversy, sexuality. But trust me, if identity could be gained by any of these, we wouldn't be having this discussion. See, the one true source of sustainable identity and visibility is purpose. Why do you exist? What purpose is attached to your name? What would the world miss if you didn't exist, and what would you have added to the world before you exist? Now that's purpose. To every created being, there is a purpose for being. Mark Twain said it best. The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Because this is your life's ultimate question, and its answer is installed in your passion. Because for many men and women, it started out as something they enjoyed doing, but little did they know that they were filling a void in the world of creation. The problem is that many people are trying too hard to be visible when the things that really make them visible are not far from their very own passions. The seemingly little actions. See, writing made Shakespeare visible, painting made Picasso visible, curiosity made Einstein visible, charity made Mother Teresa visible, talking made Oprah visible, fighting made Muhammad Ali visible, walking made Naomi Campbell visible. Need I go on? Now write this down. The very simple things in life can make you visible. Once that is your passion and purpose. Find your purpose and the world will see you.
And many more reasons are the reason why I love spoken word. And that was from Vital Speaks. We'll be hosting him much later on in the show. He calls this one Invisible. Now, before I proceed to what you have been saying on our WhatsApp line and what your daily dose of Vim is, what keeps you going, what keeps you motivated, what keeps you pushing hard for success. You're probably wondering where Edma is. Of course, a partner in crime. She's on an assignment and she'll be joining us tomorrow. But Edma is a chilling mama, so I know wherever she is. She's watching right now and she's chilling. Good morning to you, Edma Ohemaa. Good morning to you, Madam Rosemond Boating as well. I know you guys are doing the watching. But let's proceed to what you have been saying and what you have been sharing with us as your daily dose of Vim, or as Edma and the other guy will call it my DDOV, your daily dose of Vim. This one coming in, I see a picture. Is it a picture I see? Okay, this is not a daily dose of Vim. This one says, good morning, Godwin. Please add a daily dose of Vim. But good morning to you too. This one says, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Cultured Inside Asamankasi. My motivation quote this morning is, never stop doing little things for others. Sometimes those little things occupy the biggest part of their heart. Oh, that is so true. Sometimes you hear women telling you that it's really the little things that count. It's just the little things. You don't have to make grandiose gestures. Just little things count. So yeah, I really like that one. This one says, my quote for today, and it sends a picture, stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. That is very interesting. And it's coming in from Kelvin in Tiamwa, all the way from Kumasi. Kelvin, thank you for that one. Negative people have a problem for every solution, you say. Okay. This one says, good morning, good morning, good morning. My DDOV is, when you wait for something, you wait for nothing. So just get up on your feet and take a step and get what you want. From Francis in Discov. Oh, Francis, how's it going in Discov? Never been there. Like to see it someday. This one says, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, guys. It's always great watching you. Are you sure you didn't send this before the show started? Because I'm the only one here. Hashtag my daily dose of Vim says, hope is not a strategy. Whilst being hopeful, be strategic and put in the work required to make you better than yesterday. And it's coming in from Alberta and Tadi, one of our biggest fans. She runs Bacon GH on Instagram. Check her out. Thank you for choosing. Means how? Okay. All right. That is not a daily dose of Vim. Let me run through this quickly. Okay. So I'm getting comments on some of the pictures we shared on social media. Those are the ones I'm getting. I want to hear what inspires you guys. What inspires you? This one says, good morning. This is Erasmus Bill Gates from Akatisiko. Do what you're capable of. Be yourself. Okay. Very short and simple. Good morning, Selorm. This is Prince Eddie from Volta Region Ho. Nice one, Efo. My motivation is when you start, never quit because it might mean a lot. Indeed, Efo. Akpena Osia. Akpekakaka. Hello, good day. Good day to you too. But well, those are some of the comments or some of the messages that have come in concerning your daily dose of it. Let me read the last one before I go. Good morning, my DDOV. Is the cave you fear to enter bears the treasure you seek. Oh, goodness. This is a good one. The cave you fear to enter bears the treasure you seek. Sometimes our good moments do not start on good notes. Always trust the process. Nyamiche from Sampa. Oh, Nyamiche, that's a good one. Thank you so much for sharing your daily dose of VIMS with us. We are very grateful. Every morning we'd like to hear from you. Tell us what keeps you inspired, motivated, and keeps you going. Okay? But it's now time for Coffee Daily, where we recap the top trending stories in the last 24 hours. And since I am here with you, let's go straight to what's been happening in the country. And our very first story has to do with the big one. Now, 2 men were captured on CCTV camera attacking a woman at gunpoint in a broad daylight robbery. In a viral video on social media, a man wearing an orange top over a pair of jeans trousers is seen running after the woman with a pistol and subsequently assaulting her with the weapon. The woman threw a handbag onto the road. The armed man then went for the bag, jumped back onto the motorcycle, and the two made away with the bag and its contents. The incident is reported to have happened at Adenta Snit's flat yesterday. Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service is yet to comment on the incident. And this was a very big one yesterday. Broad daylight in Adenta reportedly. The woman was okay, wasn't harmed. There you see it on your screen, getting back on her feet. It is very interesting, and people have been talking about this particular story all over social media, especially on Twitter, and we'll read some of your tweets. And this is from the one and only Giovanni Caleb. Says, as seen on social media, a street robbery at Adenta Snit's flat area today. Those living in that area should be extra careful and don't carry your valuables along when walking alone. Stay safe, everyone. And he adds the Ghana flag to it. God bless our homeland, Ghana, indeed. This is not something we're known for, and we hope it doesn't stay. Giovanni adds to his comment and says, additional info. Taxi driver couldn't help because robbers had guns and also because of his passengers, a nursing mother and 2 kids on board. And honestly, I don't know what a taxi driver could have done in that situation, honestly. Since Okada became a popular means of transport, street robbery has really increased, even during the day. And he tags Nana Akufo-Addo and the Ghana Police Service, abolish this Okada thing. And it's coming in from a subscriber on Twitter. At Rita Jar also says, these robberies have been happening at Adenta for a while now, and there's a huge possibility that the robbers are the same people moving from one street to another. Same thing happened at Adenta Foster Home just a week ago. Wow. Thank you for letting us know. At John Terry Tresh says that the kiosks are located in front of the Adenta Community School. The robbers attacked the fellow in front of the guest house in the corner. There is a drinking spot just before the guest house. The place is so close to the school junction main road. Violent Kessa on Twitter says, Charlie, that Adenta robbery thing, it happen though. Just say them get this one on camera. Sometimes the hood boys too day inside. I hear say some they use blade. You do long pet, them go cut you, then take your nibbies go. It be sad. Adenta spoil. Well, so sorry to hear all these things coming in from Adenta, but we hope that the fellows at Adenta will be very vigilant, I beg your pardon, in your movement. But let's move away from that story. And the Ghana Tourism Authority, GTA, with the support of the Kwewu Traditional Council, has launched the 2022 edition of the annual Kwewu Easter and Paragliding Festival. The traditional ceremony, which took place at the Palace of Kwewu Manhene, is focused on improving domestic tourism to boost the local economy. Speaking at the ceremony, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Akwesi Ajiman, expressed hope that the local economy will receive a massive boost from the festival. The Kwewu Easter celebration had not taken place for 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This year's celebration will take off from the 15th of April with about 3 million people expected to participate. So are you attending Kwewu this year? Let us know, okay? All right, meanwhile, let me also add that the UK's Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps, has confirmed the termination of all the remaining COVID travel measures. Previously, everyone traveling to the United Kingdom must complete a passenger locator form before they arrive. Also, travelers who were not fully vaccinated had to take a COVID test before departure, book and pay for a PCR test after arriving. However, with the new announcement, passengers who are not fully vaccinated will no longer have to take COVID tests before and after traveling to the UK. Exciting. The passenger locator form will no longer be necessary either. But people going for an overseas trip will still need to be aware of other countries' entry rules like Ghana. And on the back of that, former President John Dramani Mahama has joined calls for the government to scrap the $50 mandatory COVID-19 test at the Kotoka International Airport. Recounting his UK travel experience in a Facebook post, he noted that since he had been vaccinated, he did not have to take a test when he arrived in London. However, he was required to take a PCR test before he was allowed to board a return flight home back to Ghana. The former president, John Dramani Mahama, argued that just like the UK, Ghana's severe COVID-19 cases and deaths have significantly reduced, hence the need to review the various restrictions, including halting the mandatory test at the airport and the reopening of the country's land borders. And from what I understand, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is readying themselves to open our land borders after that PDRC meeting, but we'll have more details of that later in the day. But let's jump straight to some sports action now. Coaches of the Black Stars will address the nation at 8:30 a.m. today ahead of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 playoffs against Nigeria. They include head coach Otto Addo, technical advisor Chris Hilton, and assistant coaches Masoud Didi Dramani and George Boateng. The Black Stars will take on Nigeria in the first leg of the playoff at the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi on Friday, while the second leg is scheduled for the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja on Tuesday, March 29. The winner of the two legs will progress to the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022 tournament. And the question is Ghana ready for the FIFA Qatar 2022 games? Well, we'll see after that game with Nigeria. But what's been happening in the Ghana Premier League March Week 21? Kerala United drew with Midyama SC on Friday 1-1. Dreams FC defeated Great Olympics 5-3. House of Oak won their game 2-1 against Ashanti Gold SC. And 11 Wonders will be taking on Kumasi Asante Kotoko today. Now away from Ghana to Europe, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored twice on his El Clasico debut as Barcelona stunned La Liga leaders Real Madrid 4-0 at the Bernabeu. Aubameyang headed the visitors in front in the 29th minute and scored their final goal early in the second half. Now into some NBA action. LeBron James passed Karl Malone to become the NBA's second all-time leading scorer despite the Los Angeles Lakers loss to the Washington Wizards. James scored 38 points in the 127-119 defeat, taking his career total to 36,947 points. Only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has scored more points than the 37-year-old.
Highlights started in the first, finishing his miss with the putback, then spinning and going baseline for the reverse. Later in the first, Russell Westbrook finding a trailing LeBron who'd throw it down. Then he'd pull up from three. And another one, this time off the dribble. But this three would tie Karl Malone. And it would also put the Lakers up 48-35. Here, though, the moment he made history.
So his next basket. That's what he's diving, though. Diving LeBron, and there it is.
There it is.
The kid from Akron, LeBron James, has come into the nation's capital and has passed the mailman, Karl Malone, and is now number 2 all-time in scoring in the history of the NBA.
Russ would knock down the 3. He had 22 in the game. Then Kristaps again, getting the pass and throwing it down. But he could also get it done from deep. Here's the 3. He finished with 27, and the Wizards would win it 127 to 119.
All of a sudden becomes very aggressive.
Number 2 all-time top scorer in the NBA, the King LeBron James, representing the LA Lakers. But in some tech news, Google will now allow you to delete the last 15 minutes of your search history on its Android app. According to Google, it is currently rolling this feature out on the Google app for Android and expects it to be available to everyone using the app in the next few weeks. To check for it, open Google's Android app. Tap your profile picture and look for the delete last 15 minutes option. Google also offers a tool to automatically delete things in your search history that are 3, 18, or 36 months old. And there you have it for the trending stories in Coffee Daily. Catch up with all the fun, the breaking news stories, sports and business insights on mx24online.com. MX24 TV, fun, fearless, factual. Now let's take a deep dive into the world of entertainment and showbiz.
March is here, and on MX24, it's GH Month. As part of the month-long activities to celebrate exceptional Ghanaian products and services, we're organizing a 2-day pop-up shop and sales exhibition, the Ghana Independence Fair, happening on the 26th and 27th of March 2022 at MX24, Silicon Square, Boundary Road, East Legon. It'll be 2 days of sales exhibitions, workshops, pitch sessions, a food fair, and open-air concert. Get your stand now. Exhibit and benefit from a month-long exclusive promotional package for Ghanaian-owned businesses. Visit mx24online.com to register your business now. You can also call 055-0500-555 or 024-235-5956. The Ghana Independence Fair on the 26th and 27th of March. Buy Ghana to grow Ghana. If you're into content production for digital or TV, say hello to the MX24 Studios. We're the prime location for your music video shoots, live productions, TV shows, and more. From state-of-the-art equipment to a very skilled production team, we've got you covered. Step into our modern and spacious studio with a changeable lighting system and foolproof sound. Our touchscreen studio projection monitors come with other features, including Wi-Fi connection, screen mirroring, and a remote workspace mode. Take advantage of our high-quality cameras to shoot in 4K and a variety of the best lighting equipment guaranteed to put life into your sets. Locate us on the first floor of the Silicon House building off the Boundary Road, East Legon. Give us a call on 024-235-5956 or 054-454-8612. You can also email us at info@mx24gh.com.
Meet the best of in-depth analysis, top personality interviews, trending and breaking news all come your way. I'll be serving you with football conversations, life-hearted, lifestyle-related conversations, all on Off the Cuff. Join me, Derek Aim, this and every Monday to Friday between 4 and 5 p.m. only on MX24 TV.
No topic is off limits. The pain of experiencing a miscarriage is something that can crumple your world. We're talking postpartum bodies and everything in between. And they share their story on their battle with infertility. The touching stories of the African woman rolls before you.
I was disappointed in God, in life, in myself.
How many losses have you had?
After that, we had 4 more.
What?
I shouted, I said,
we lost vision, we lost any sound beyond crying.
Our mistakes, advices, regrets, real stories, and more on We Got This Africa. Na Ashokor and her intriguing panel serve you real experiences of the African woman. We Got This Africa.
We got this.
March is here, and on MX24, it's GH Month. As part of the month-long activities to celebrate exceptional Ghanaian products and services, we're organizing a 2-day pop-up shop and sales exhibition, the Ghana Independence Fair, happening on the 26th and 27th of March 2022 at MX24, Silicon Square, Boundary Road, East Legon. It'll be 2 days of sales exhibitions, workshops, pitch sessions, a food fair, and open-air concert. Get your stand now. Exhibit and benefit from a month-long exclusive promotional package for Ghanaian-owned businesses. Visit mx24online.com to register your business now. You can also call 055 0500 555 or 024 235 5956. The Ghana Independence Fair on the 26th and 27th of March. Buy Ghana to grow Ghana.
God, it's Monday, guys. It's Monday. You don't know I'm always so chirpy on a Monday. You don't know. I like Mondays, you know. I like Mondays. Mondays, like Godwin said before we started, Mondays is always Mondays. See it? Now today, it's MX Breaks inside the AM Club, where I will bring you all the updates in lifestyle and entertainment in Ghana, and of course, across the globe. And you see, last week Friday, I had a Lone Ranger.
Today, you have a Lone Ranger. Yeah, man. That's how it works, man. Teamwork. But you know, Edma, chilling mama.
Hey, Charlie, that's rich auntie you.
I beg you, my boss.
Rich auntie Edma.
We see you, Edma. We see you. But she'll be back here tomorrow.
How's the weekend, my brother?
Good, bro. Well, I had to attend to family stuff. You know.
Me too, actually.
Boy, you're wearing black. What does that mean? Does that mean? No, it's just okay.
Just a suit.
Anyways, tell us what's happening, bro.
Yeah, man, guys, if you don't know, my name is Kevoy B. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere at KEVOYB. Zain, now for our stories. After 2 years of not participating in the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, Stonebwoy is back on the list of nominees. In the new list released by the organizers, Stonebwoy made his comeback, appearing in the Reggae Dancehall Song of the Year category. Two of his hit songs were nominated for the category, which is One God, love that song, and Greedy Men, and he is going against Kitty, Touch It, Saminic Picture, LaRusso, New Gen, and Episode Odeshi. He was also nominated for the Reggae Dancehall Artist of the Year award, where he's up against the 2021 winner, Episode, Samini, and LaRusso. Congratulations to Stonebwoy.
It's good to see him back in the list of nominees. You know, after 2 years. You know the incident that happened 2 years ago?
Yeah,
some feud.
Guns were drawn.
So I mean, it's good to see them back, and he working okay with Shatawale and all that. It's good to have them back. They made the competition tight when it came to the reggae dancehall category. So it's now good to see Samini in there, see Stonebwoy, see Episode, who won the last one.
Yeah, Episode.
And LaRusso as well.
You know, I don't know who LaRusso is.
Yeah, LaRusso is not... I mean, he's quite big too. He's got some really good songs out there. Yeah,
but these are different categories.
Yeah, so we have different categories. You want to take us through some of the categories?
Artist of the Year is King Promise. Hey, King Promise is good enough. I like King Promise.
Me too.
Kwame Eugene is very good as well. Sorry. I would ask...
Owusu Michael.
Black Sheriff. Hey, Kitty has been doing very well, eh?
And Joe Metal.
Who's this guy?
Joe Metal? Are you asking who Joe Metal is?
No. Who's that? Yeah.
You don't know Joe Metal?
No.
I was saying he's a gospel artist.
Ah, that's why I don't know who Joe Metal is.
You're so silly, you. You're so silly. Anyway, but it's also interesting to see Black Sheriff in there because Black Sheriff is a new artist and he's been
Afropop
nominated.
Who, Black Sheriff? Eh?
Yeah, for Artist of the Year. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, but he was doing well, eh?
Yeah, I mean, anyways,
Afropop song Heat by Wendy Shea Gang. Don't know it. Forever remix.
Oh,
love that song.
Oh, that song, man.
This song.
It's possible.
Yeah. Mood. Which mood? Is it I'm in a big mood? No,
that's Mr. Drew.
Ah, okay.
I've forgotten the mood song. How
I
it
like
goes.
the song too. Slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah. Enjoyment minister with G.
Hey,
hey, listen to me.
And
we have Sad Girls Love Money remix by Amare. And Praise by Famille.
Praise the Lord, hallelujah.
Oh, that's Famille?
The highest.
I thought it was a gospel song. I've always heard it.
Well, it sounds like I think it's a gospel. Yeah, but it's praising God, so I guess it's a Thanksgiving song.
Yeah, man, is that
best Afropop song, anyways?
You guess? No, it's best Afropop. This is the category for best Afropop song.
This I think will go for Jackie. I think Jackie should take this one.
You think Jackie should take it? Ooh. Jackie's song was pretty big.
Speaking of Jackie. Speaking of Jackie.
Oh, Ghanaian Afrobeat singer Jackie has completed her undergraduate studies at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, which is called NUTS. She was studying for a degree in international business. She officially announced that she had graduated through a Twitter post yesterday. Hey, Jackie. Big up yourself! Hey, Jackie. Hey, Charlie. See?
Yeah.
I know you thought the same thing. I know you thought the same thing.
You're bad man, you know. You're bad man. Me see ya, bro.
Jackie, big up yourself!
Oh, come on, you're not correct. Anyway.
Guys, popular British rapper Steph London has once again fired shots at her ex-boyfriend Burna Boy on social media. Taking to her Instagram story, she posted a video of herself with a monkey and she accompanied it with a romantic song. Wow. Steph London complained that she's talking to the monkey, who's now her boyfriend, but he wasn't responding. She was heard saying, "I need more affection. I need someone caring for me, and you're not giving it to me. See one thing? This is why I broke up with you the last time, because this is how you are." Why? If you don't know, Burna Boy constantly likens himself to a gorilla, and hence the reason for the shade. And we have the video.
And you're not listening, and you're not really even saying much. And it's like, I can't really do this no more. George, see what I'm saying? You're not even listening to me. You're there eating a carrot. George, you're not listening to me. I need more affection. I need some more time from you. You're not giving it. See what I'm saying with you? This is why I broke up with you the last time. Because this is how you act. And all you care about is this. No, I'm talking to you and you're not listening and you're not really...
Brother, but see ya.
Brother.
But see ya.
That's messed up in many ways.
Oh.
Very messed up in many ways. You know, this thing can be interpreted in different... What if it was a white girl doing that?
Oh, hey, Charlie.
Think about it. What if she was a complete white girl, like a Caucasian, doing this? It'd be
a different issue. It'd be a totally different issue.
You know, it would be a different issue, but it's understandable because she's a black girl. But also, anyways, I heard you got a new girlfriend. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, man, it's hurting.
And listen to me.
Why, Steph London could have worse. Could be worse.
anyways, Steph London. Anyways,
Steph London. You know,
but that's messed up, man. That's messed up. That shade is low blow.
It's wild, my brother. It's wild. It's wild. It's uncalled for, Steph London.
Steph London. Should she big up herself?
Nah, big up Steph London. We now big you up.
Steph London, don't big up yourself.
No.
We are for Burna Boy. Anyways.
Now for my wife. Rihanna is officially in the 3rd trimester of her pregnancy, and she has been out and about preparing to welcome her bundle of joy. Zane, now you see, while she hasn't spilled any tea about the gender of the baby she's expecting, fans seem to think she was sending a hint during a recent trip to Target. Recently visited the baby section of a Target store where the paparazzi snapped a few photos of her holding a coral dress. Although sources say she was also browsing in the boys section, folks on social media are convinced Rihanna is getting ready to give birth to a baby girl. Currently, the rumors about Rihanna carrying a baby girl are just that. Rumors. But hopefully, the Rihanna Navy will still get some tea soon. Hey, these people are following Rihanna around endlessly.
No, I'm like, the question on my mind is, how do celebrities do it? Like, foreign, of course, not celebrities over here, but foreign celebrities. Like, how do you have people constantly following you with a camera? Like, can you have some privacy? Can you have some peace?
Can I go buy some cornflakes at Walmart?
I mean...
Oh, my goodness, my brother. No.
It's understandable, but also, I imagine what they go through. I feel like this is why celebrities easily get depressed, because...
They can't do their own thing, my brother.
People are constantly on you. I mean, hey, but it's Rihanna.
It's Rihanna, I hope she's wearing more clothes, my brother, because honestly, I see people saying, oh, this is so nice, and... Oh, because it's Rihanna, but if it was somebody else wearing these skimpy clothes,
it would have been.
Charlie.
No, but we commented on this. I was telling you that time, the one she wore to, I don't know where she wore it to, but I was like, yo, man, it's I mean,
where you got, baby? Like, I mean, pregnancy is a beautiful thing.
Of course, it's beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful thing.
Oh my God!
But those revelations, man, that was something. But anyways. Well, Rihanna, big up yourself.
Yeah, man, Rihanna, hell, she's done that.
Ladies Fenty?
She's done that already, my brother.
That's a good one. That's a good one, bro. Anyways.
Anyway, that's it for MX Space. Hey, let me give you one like
patois word.
It's not like a patois word. It's like something that I live by. It's like, you are happening to life. Life is not happening to you.
Oh, you're happening to life. Life's not happening to you. You know what I will say to that in Ewe, since we are celebrating the Volta region? I'll say Akpa.
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 Akpa. What does that mean?
Akpa, thank you.
Akpa.
So thank you in Ewe is Akpa.
I know F1 is
You want to say how are you?
Yeah.
F1.
I went to the Volta region the other day. Hey, you go put aside the Volta children that taught me that.
Anywho, but there you have it.
Anyway, guys, that is it for MX Bex Lifestyle and Entertainment, guys. My name is Kevoy B. Little more, big up yourself. God win! Take it away.
Big up yourself, Kevoy. And that's about it for Coffee Daily. Up next, we have Lifestyle Daily. And like we rightly mentioned, we're discussing financial management for, I don't want to add a low-income earners, but let's say low-income earners, okay? In the meantime, enjoy another spoken word from the Ghana Today by Imoru Sadat. We'll be right back.
Allow me to talk about my legend, the legend of legends, the Lion King of the land of Africa. If Ghana was a sports car, then Kwame Nkrumah would be the fitter. Yes, beyond the legend of the seeker. We are free. Literally, we are free forever. But psychologically, I cannot tell whether we are outside the balcony or we are still under the white colony. We were freed, but we refuse to be free because we're still opening doors for them to dictate to us what we should learn and teach. From the clothes that we wear to the food that we feed. It's like throwing banku and tilapia in the garbage and spending ×5 of the price on a poor pizza package. Then when I'm done, I complain that made in Ghana goods are lacking quality and good package. No, it's because I allow myself to be tricked into being a savage to my own people. So just keep waiting. But if our ancestors were to be awakened, they will ask in your national pledge, was that how you promised to defend the good name of Ghana? They'll be sad. So will Nkrumah. Masaya Kuma. Just look at the way we allow them misuse our resources in vain, or we destroy them by ourselves, all in the name of Galamsey. It beats my brain. Sometimes I don't know what to say. For the little benefit of today, we allow our big future to fade away. Who supervises them? Who supervises the supervisor who was supposed to supervise to ensure that our resources were not condemned? These are issues we discuss on TVs and radios, sometimes written with pens, but when it comes to taking actions, we relent. Yes, we relent to send to them who we meant to them, for them to understand, cause we spent to dents, yet we prove to be slaves to their dollars and cents. Is that really who we are? Or it is the way our educational system taught us, so we learned? So just keep waiting. But if our ancestors were to be awakened, they will ask, in your national pledge, was that how you promised to defend the good name of Ghana? They will be sad. So will Nkrumah. Mumumbre, Masaya Koma. Some of the youth are turning into vultures. Others are joining the old folks in dirty politics. What it means is that we should be changing the game tactics, but not to join them where the usual corruption fabrics. Listen, when I'm out, allow me to fight corruption. But when I'm in, I become corrupted and the corrupted. Are we not in a rat race? Just look at the cycle. If you doubt me, you can ask Bob Marley or Robert Kiyosaki. This is the era of development through inventions. So don't be a gangster. Allow me to celebrate the Nkrumah of our era. Suffolk and Tanka, the likes of the Lion of Boxing, Azuma Nelson, the General Sek, Kofi Annan, and Waris Sadat. This is my stand.
March is here, and on MX24, it's GH Month. As part of the month-long activities to celebrate exceptional Ghanaian products and services, we're organizing a 2-day pop-up shop and sales exhibition, the Ghana Independence Fair, happening on the 26th and 27th of March 2022 at MX24, Silicon Square, Boundary Road, East Legon. It'll be 2 days of sales exhibitions, workshops, pitch sessions, a food fair, and open-air concert. Get your stand now. Exhibit and benefit from a month-long exclusive promotional package for Ghanaian-owned businesses. Visit mx24online.com to register your business now. You can also call 055 0500 555 or 024 235 5956. The Ghana Independence Fair on the 26th and 27th of March. Buy Ghana to grow Ghana.
Hi there, I'm excited to come your way with football conversations, sports-related conversations, light-hearted, lifestyle-related conversations about the sport that we all love and are passionate about. Make a date with me.
If you're into content production for digital or TV, say hello to the MX24 Studios. We're the prime location for your music video shoots, live productions, TV shows, and more. From state-of-the-art equipment to a very skilled production team, we've got you covered. Step into our modern and spacious studio with a changeable lighting system and foolproof sound. Our touchscreen studio projection monitors come with other features, including Wi-Fi connection, screen mirroring, and a remote workspace mode. Take advantage of our high-quality cameras to shoot in 4K and a variety of the best lighting equipment guaranteed to put life into your sets. Locate us on the first floor of the Silicon House building off the Boundary Road, East Legon. Give us a call on 024-235-5956 or 054-454-8612. You can also email us at info@mx24gh.com.
Need the best of in-depth analysis, top personality interviews, trending and breaking news all come your way. I'll be serving you with football conversation, life-hearted, lifestyle-related conversations, all on Off the Cuff. Join me, Derek Aim, this and every Monday to Friday between 4 and 5 p.m. only on MX24 TV.
Welcome back to your favorite lifestyle morning show in the country. This is the AM Club right here on MX24 TV, where we make sure to keep you inspired, entertained, and informed. As we continue to celebrate GH Month here on MX24 TV, I want you to look forward to our Independence Fair on the 26th and 27th of March 2022. It is going to be 2 days of sales exhibitions, workshops, pitch sessions, a food fair, comedy, and an open-air concert. Get your stand now, exhibit, and benefit from an exclusive promotional package for Ghanaian-owned businesses. Please, for more details, visit mx24online.com to register your business. Or you can also call the following numbers: 055 050 0555 or 024 235 5956. Independence Fair by Ghana to grow Ghana. It's time for Lifestyle Daily, our second segment of the AM Club. And today's conversation is going to be about managing your finances. Now, currently, as a people, we are paying high taxes. Prices of commodities have also been increased directly or indirectly as a result of fuel price increment, which has also affected transportation fares, but salaries have remained the same in the majority of cases. In my case. How do we adjust our living to suit the times we are in now? We'll be delving into that house in today's conversation. But before we get into it, we'd like to hear from you. Have you got any questions regarding this? Share them with us on our WhatsApp line, 055-033-1511. 055-033-1511. Or tweet at us at MX24GH with the hashtag the AM Club. Joining me this morning in studio, I have Elikem Kwesi Agbosu, who is a fund manager for this conversation. Elikem, good morning.
Good morning.
It's your first time on the AM Club, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Welcome to the AM Club.
Thank you.
And you're an official member, meaning that I'll tell you more about it after the discussion.
Sure.
But let's get into this all-important conversation, Elikem. Okay. And I think the first question on my mind, when I started the show, when I introduced the show, I said I had spent, Elikem, I'm going to say this till I understand why I made that mistake, but I had spent 10K in 2 weeks, and the only one I could account for was 3K. Wow. So the fact that I can't exactly remember, let me add 1K, let me say for fuel. Okay. Let's say for fuel. So the 6K, I still don't know what I did with it. You know, so I want to ask you, first of all, what are the best ways to keep track of your finances?
Well, first, I'm curious. Did you buy any bottles? Maybe that was why.
No,
okay.
I certainly didn't buy bottles. Okay. But I still can account for it.
Okay. So I think there are a few ways. There's if you like to be manual, there are some people who would prefer to write it down. But in this day and age, who picks a pen and paper, right? So the next best option is your phone. Mm-hmm. There are some mobile apps that can help you. There's Mint, there's MoneyWise, I use Money Manager. There are a lot of free apps. So you could look at getting some of those. There's You Need a Budget Now, or just Google any free budget apps or free expense tracker apps, right? And if you work on your computer quite often and you are conversant with Excel, I actually prefer that because I'm always in Excel. So you could actually just do Excel, simple table, date, description, that's what you spend the money on, and amount, and just tally it, and that would help. Okay,
so Elikem, I have Fudget. And I have Akunta. I have 2 apps on my phone. Trust me, it does. It's not like it doesn't work. It's the attitude, because, like you said, at what point am I going to pick my laptop, open Excel, and type, oh, when I went out today, I bought plantain and granite. I bought, some of the things we spend on are very, very small. Do you account for every single thing in these things, writing these things down? Do you write everything, or you write the most important things?
It depends on how desperate you are. Like, I can imagine for some people spending 10K in 2 weeks and being lost about it. Now you are really thinking, right?
Of course.
You have to make that sacrifice. I'll say at least for 1 month, track everything. Track everything. And you don't necessarily have to write down you bought granite. You could just put it under food. Lump up all the snacks that you bought in a day. At the end of the day, okay, I probably just spent 5 cedis on snacks. Just lump it up, right? At least for 1 month, track everything. Then after a month, with that history, you can set your pattern. And then now you can start putting in the large, chunky items. Like for me, for example, the things that I mainly track are my family expenses, because that's the huge chunk of my expenses, and everything else goes in the beginning of the month. All those expenses are paid. So it's just those ones that I have to keep track of to make sure that family accounts are balanced well. So that's what I would encourage for you.
Okay, so Elikem, in a fast-growing world like what we have now, and in times like these that we're experiencing, where fuel prices have gone up, so almost everything has shot up. If you're a low-income earner, let's address this for low-income earners. Well, first of all, who is a low-income earner? What would you describe as a low-income earner? Let's cap that before we continue.
You know, low-income earner, and I would like us to widen the scope, because a lot of people are struggling. So let's see, let's look at people starting out of school, whether finishing high school or finishing university, and they've started working in your first 5-10 years of working. So then you could say maybe 18 to 30. I think let's look there. And chances are, unless you're working in certain oil and gas, certain industries, working for some top banks or an engineer, chances are you are going to be earning 3,000 or less. And I'm sure some of your audience are watching me saying 3,000, like who's earning 3,000, right? And it's fact. A lot of people earn way less than 3,000. So I think we can look at that.
So should we cap it at 3,000? Say anybody earning between 3,000 and below is a low-income earner?
Yes.
So we can have that.
For the purpose of this conversation.
Okay, for the purpose of this conversation. So now let's talk about how to spend less if you're earning 3,000 and below. Honestly, how to spend less, given into consideration transportation, utility, feeding, rent. How do I spend less with that money?
There are some things that are inevitable. Some things you just can't do away with. Some things like food, right? But you can actually control what you spend on food. You have to eat, but the question is, what do you eat? And I think this segment, the title of this segment even helps, Lifestyle Daily. It's about your lifestyle. There's something about lifestyle that when you're in school, when I was in school, I was hustling. So bare minimum things, right? Go and spend. Remember some time back, I went to University of Ghana, night markets, 2 cedis per meal. These days, what can that get you? Right? So it's about, back then, I could just do some wachi, eggs, some spag on a good day.
What was the name? Oh God, there was a popular woman
over
there. No, at the night market. I've forgotten her name. But
okay. Right, and some people also prefer gobe, right? But the thing is, as you start earning an income, it's no more parents giving you allowance. You start earning an income, it's 400 cedis national service allowance, or 600, then 1,000, then 1,005. Have you changed your tastes? Have you changed your preferences? Have you changed, instead of buying food that maybe a plate of rice that would have cost 10 cedis, are you now buying it at 15 cedis because you are going to a different place? Those are some of the things you need to look at. What type of things are you buying, right? Then you have to, the inevitable things, the electricity, utilities, those things you have to save up and know that this is the floor. Then the rest is your disposable income. And I think that's where there's room to save a lot. Because some people would spend on certain drinks. And funny thing is, so I was at a friend's pub on Friday night, and they asked me what I wanted. And I'm like, not to sponsor any brand, but okay, how much is a big bottle of Club? 8 cedis. How much is a small bottle of Heineken? 12 cedis.
I mean, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
You know, and so you have to, it gets to a point where you think about your lifestyle and you have to realize, I should downgrade. Because the difference is 4 cedis, right? But if you start if you're looking at 8 cedis, you are spending 50% more on a drink. What else are you spending 50% more on? What else are you spending extra on that you don't need? Because guess what? You will need the money. So I would encourage people to downgrade their lifestyle in terms of the quality or the taste that they have. Stick to the bare minimum. If you need a cake, yeah, get a cake. But don't go beyond what you absolutely have to.
And that's absolutely very interesting. And I think that's very absolutely true. Now, in this case, is there a need to shore up your finances in this case? If whatever you're earning is low income, like we said, 3,000 and below, given into consideration that you have to come, via, let's say, church yourself, or you have to even pick an Uber to work every single day for how many days in a month, let's say 21 days in a month, buy all these things. Do you think, therefore, it's necessary for a person to get an extra job on the side? And how so if the person is working an 8 to 5 shift? If it's somewhere in the West, we can say that, you can go work for 4 hours here, go sleep some more, go work for 4 hours here, but it doesn't happen often here. Usually it's an 8 to 5 job you'll get. So how do you add up to the little money you have?
Okay, so it depends on the industry you're in. If you are a knowledge worker, people who, mostly these days we use computers, we are working on our PCs quite often. It's about the services that you are providing with the knowledge you've gained from school. I would first suggest that master your craft. If you are in finance, take as many courses as you need to. Invest in yourself. Become such an expert that when your income is increasing, especially at this young age, when they are increasing your income, 500 at a time, 1,000 at a time, that's, for some people, that's 25% jump at a time, 50% jump at a time. There's opportunity to grow there, right? Now, if you've reached a certain plateau and you believe that you have extra skills or there are extra opportunities, yes, but don't forget where don't forget your main hustle. Don't forget how your bread is mainly buttered. Some people get into side hustles and they end up having to take the money that they earned from their main job to have to fund those side hustles. So you need to make sure that it is profitable. You need to make sure that you are making a good case. And it's all about how desperate you are, how eager you are to make more income. Because you could you close work at 5, rest for an hour, and work another 2 hours, and that could earn you some income.
That's actually very true. Yeah. But it's not a culture we have over here, because after 8 to 5, what bread? You're going to be in traffic for like almost 2 hours before you get home. So that's what, 7, a little after 7. What job are you going to do on the side?
It's interesting you mentioned this, right? So I know people. There was a time when I started working, I had to take trotro sometimes, right? And I used to read a lot in the trotro. You are not driving. You are sitting in the car. You have flexibility. What are you using your phone for? Are you into social media? Side hustles. People that want to be bloggers, they want to be influencers. That's your time to be tweeting up stuff. Read and make commentary on stuff. Use that time actively. You are sitting in traffic for 2 hours. Don't make it be a waste. Read something, do something, call someone if you need to, if the car is not too noisy, right? And speaking of transportation, if I could just circle back to a previous question of ways to spend less, these days fuel prices, try to minimize how often you move about. Can you make it a Zoom call or a WhatsApp conference call instead of going to see a friend? Or if you are thinking about going out on Friday night or trying to hang out with some friends, why don't you just make it stay at home? And interesting thing about how we party in Ghana, it's usually one person having to foot the whole bill, right? Let's make a culture of it that if we are not going to go to a restaurant, it's expensive. So let's go to someone's house. When you are coming, bring pizza. When you are coming, bring kebab, bring drinks. Everyone brings something.
Which is something that is common outside, but not common here. So it's something we need to take up.
Yes, we do.
Do you think employers need to come to, the aid of employees in these times?
I think they do. And the major way I think they can is working remotely. As much as possible.
Let me put this thing down and let's have this conversation, because I know it's a topic, we are not digressing, but it's something that most young people are interested about. I shared a video on our AM Club group over the weekend, and it's about, like you said, working remotely. This commuting alone is a burden. And look at all the hours you spend even before getting to work, when you could have been very productive staying at home. So in fact, let me not take the conversation away from you. Tell us about why you think working remotely is a way to help employees in these times.
So when you work remotely, like you said, you don't waste 1.5 hours in the morning trying to get to work. You don't get to work tired. Alternatively, you wake up, you bath if you want to, and get back to your PC and just hack away. You are starting fresh, all right, more productive. At the end of the day, you don't have to spend 2 hours in traffic. You can rest and start the next day fresher. Secondly, that's even the time. That's just energy, but that's also time. Now, you could also look at it as when some jobs are demanding and they require people to stay late in the office, it's less safe. So rather, instead of having to keep a staff bus or a staff car waiting to take people home, and the drivers also have to now get home even later because they have to come and park the car and go home, now you have people just working remotely from home. There's an emergency or there's a deadline, everyone just continues plowing into the night, right? And most importantly, the money you save. It's quite a chunk of money, transportation. So why not help, rather people will spend a fraction of that on internet costs. Granted, internet costs have gone up. And there are a few concerns I know employers would have. Just one, reliability of your electricity supply. So we have to figure that out. Two, not a lot of young people are able to work without supervision. It can come with some training. Give people some leeway. Instead of micromanaging them, give them a chance to control their work. And with time, you see that progress. I've seen that with many people, and some organizations are de facto working from home. So, yeah.
That's very interesting. Would you therefore say that financial management goes hand in hand with time management?
It does. It does. Because it's... some people use ride sharing. If you go at high demand time, when there's a lot of traffic, if you move, you may pay 50% more. Or double, right?
Yeah.
But if you had woken up a little earlier, planned your time earlier, you would have just paid a normal fee. So there are certain ways that it's like when you don't manage your time well, you may have to overcompensate with your money in certain ways.
Sure.
Imagine even missing a deadline, you pay a fine or something. So, yeah.
Sure. It's like this morning, my director got here and I was like, hey, you people have come in early, Papa. And I'm like, well, because if you, like you said, if you manage your time well and you get in early, there's no traffic. So that's you saving fuel rather than coming late and being in traffic and spending more on fuel. And now fuel is 90, 70 pesos, my brother. It's not, it's crazy. It's crazy. But what about investment? With that little low income you're earning, what about, do you think we should be investing?
You must. It's an absolute necessity. Look at it from this way. When you get money, when you get your income, however you get your income, whether it's you do work and people pay you or you have an employer paying you, everything you spend your money on is money going to other people. You are paying other people. You are buying food, the seller gets the money. You are buying electricity, ECG gets your money. Rent, landlord gets your money. Everything, someone else is getting your money. What are you keeping for yourself? And something that people don't like to think about, but it's a fact, is you will always need money. You think you are comfortable now, you can take off your current expenses, but you may need to fund a wedding. You may need to fund a home. Most people want to get homes. You may need to pay rent advance in future. Why not start putting away something? At least 10% of every income that you get. At least 10%. Put it away. Pay yourself first. And then manage your budgets and see
someone will say, how much is 10% of 3,000 Ghana cedis? That's 300 cedis. What is that going to sort? Because 300 Ghana cedis and cement, and so really, will 10% do anything for anybody if they are keeping it?
Yes, it will. It will, especially when it's you are thinking long term. So I look at someone, let's say someone in university. You have a 4-year course, right? You are in university, and you don't save. You say, well, I'm getting pocket money, I can't save, all that. It's tight. No problem. At the end of 4 years, if you had saved even 10 cedis a month, whatever it would have added up to, right, is that 480 cedis. Let's say you managed to scrape together 500 cedis. I'm sure everyone can figure out a time when they absolutely needed some loose 500 cedis to do something.
True.
You will need money. It's a fact. So what little you can put together, it's not much, right? No problem. You just put it away. Right? And then when you are thinking in terms of investing, time is actually your best friend. So we usually talk about this in terms of retirement planning because there's more time, but you can't control interest rates. You won't determine what the bank should give you on your interest, on your investments, right? But what you can control is your time. Because of compounding interest, perhaps some people haven't heard about compounding interest. It's when you invest your money, you get interest, and then now you sort of roll it over. So now you have your initial principal, you have your interest, and that's now a new principal. So it keeps growing and growing and growing. And with that, over time, it multiplies. And I'll use myself as an example. There was a time when I started saving towards retirement, but it was 100 cedis a month, 100 cedis a month. It's not much. It's not much, right? But funny thing is, now it's gotten to a point, after many years of working, it's gotten to a point where it's in the tens of thousands. So now, even a small percentage growth of that, now you are seeing significant.
More.
Yes, but you had to start from somewhere, right? A journey of 1,000 miles.
Begins with a step.
Exactly.
So for low-income earners, what should we be investing in? What should they be investing in?
Good for you. So I would say start from the point of what should you need the money to do for you. Think about your goals. And for a lot of people at that stage, it's really current, things that need to be spent immediately. Money would need to be spent immediately. Think safety. Some people try to chase investments that will provide excessively high return. Familiarize with treasury bills. What is a treasury bill? It's like giving a loan to the government or an investment in the government and they'll pay you back. It's one of the safest because the government can print money or tax us like they are doing to get the money back. So when interest rates on treasury bills are around 12%, 13%, anyone trying to give you way more than that, 30%, that's a huge difference. What at all are they doing to be able to give you that? So set that as a benchmark. If you want to play absolutely safe, start with treasury bills. There are also mutual funds, also relatively safe investments, but when you go to any investment house, we have Data Bank, EDC, that's EcoBank's EDC, Stanbic Investment Management. They could set you up on a mutual fund or a collective investment.
How safe is mutual fund? I mean, the risk is less.
The risk is less than other investments, but it's a little more risky than treasury bills because the government has sovereign power. They can write, print paper, right? But these ones, what they do is, it's still less risky because most of their investments are even in treasury bills. But you ask them, why don't I do treasury bills? But imagine I ask you to invest for 20 years. That sounds like a long time. But these mutual funds, because they are bigger, they can think longer term. They can actually invest for that long. And those investments have higher returns. So 3 months treasury bill is at 13%. 20 year is at 21%. See that extra 8%? Yeah. You get that benefit by joining in on that mutual fund. And these are some of these organizations, they check to make sure that they have good reputations, and they also publish information about where your money is. I think that's a good place to start. With the mutual funds, indirectly, just top up every month, and you see your money growing over the long term. Yeah.
So treasury bills and then mutual funds, like you said. Those are the two you recommend?
Yes.
Okay, for now. Anyways, now should we adopt, you did mention earlier, should we adopt this economy of sharing, this attitude of sharing, you know, in this country, especially when you're a low-income earner? Should you now start saying that if my friend or my colleague has a car, because I probably don't want to do the church and I want to also get to work early and save, you know, so maybe if we live in the same area, we'll all join our colleague to come to work, and then maybe at the end of the week or at the end of the month when our salary comes, we give him like some 200 cedis or, you know, each. Should we start looking at sharing in this country?
Yes, we should. We should. You look at traffic and it doesn't make sense. You see one person in an SUV, that behind him, another one person in an SUV. Chances are his wife is probably in the car behind him, just that you split at a point, right? 3 more people could have joined. Less fuel burnt, fewer cars on the road, because now everyone wants to buy a car so that they can also get to work early. More traffic. I think it's important. The caveat, or the thing what I think we need to be careful about is psychology, human behavior. You would expect that I would come and be talking finance with a lot of terms, but when it comes to money, it's really about psychology. Your ability to control yourself, your behavior. And how does behavior play into this sharing thing? Can you trust that someone will be at the junction that they are supposed to be at on time?
That's interesting.
And you delay that, and you know, in certain areas, if you leave home 5 minutes later, you get to work 15, 30 minutes later.
That's it.
So, do you want someone to mess up your morning?
Time or your morning,
you know, it's that kind of sacrifice, and it's not just about transportation, even
rent.
Leisure.
What about rent?
Rent, oh boy.
Like getting a
roommate.
You know, because getting a 1-bedroom, let's say for 600 Ghana cedis, and getting a 3-bedroom for 900 Ghana cedis, you'd rather want to get a 3, which is spacious and has more space, and then you can share, you know, 200 or 250, let's say 3 or 4 people occupying the place. Do you also think that helps low-income earners? I
think it does. It does, and especially, I see the benefits in there because, let's say, chances are a lot of people live far away, Abukubi, Dodowa, Pram, Kaswa, Weja, and they come to work. Why not put some money together, get a place closer to town? As a young person, that means you can get to work less tired in an hour earlier. An hour every day for a year. That's how much labor you've put in that can develop you, right? There's benefits to that. But you need to be a good person and find good people too, so that you can do this harmoniously without any problems. That's the key thing.
So it comes back to this whole behavior thing.
Yeah.
Psychological thing. Let me see if we have some comments coming in. Can you please ask him to enlighten us more on the treasury bill? And this one is another conversation of my sister. Can you do it in like 30 seconds? 30 seconds?
Okay. So the treasury bill, there are various types. There's the 91-day, 3 months, 182-day, 6 months, and then 1 year, that's 364-day bill. What happens is you can get these at any bank. Probably wherever your current account, your savings account is, talk to them, they can set you up on that. And in 3 months, you invest it, so if it's 12%, that means then 91 days, that's a quarter of that, so 3%, you get 3% for that period, not the entire 12%.
Oh, right.
Yes. When it matures, you have 3 options. Take all your money, take your interest and roll over the principal, or roll over the principal and the interest. I will encourage you to roll over the principal and the interest if you don't need it. Let it grow some more. And it's likewise with the 6 months, the 1 year bills. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
This one says, good morning, I'm Christian Obridan. So please, the man is really piercing my brain with much sense, and it's very true. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I'm in the University of Energy and Natural Resources. I'm in the University of Energy and Natural Resources. I work with Google, and I'm usually being paid around 2,500 to 6,000 Ghana cedis. It's not stable as a young boy in school. 6,000 Ghana cedis, my brother. In school now, I can't really save because I buy everything I get my hands on. Okay, please, can you help me on how to start saving without not getting my money back?
You spend everything, you buy everything you lay your hands on. That's the problem. That's the beginning of the problem. I'll dare him. When you get an income, put half away. So for me, I have a savings account and a current account. Salary comes into the current account. Immediately the salary is paid, put half into the savings account. And for me, personally, when I see my balance low, even if I have 1,000 cedis in my pockets, what is in my balance, what I feel like.
Exactly.
So when you have less money on you, less money accessible to you, your mindset changes. You wouldn't spend so much when you know you have just a little amount of money. So immediately you get the money, put it away. Just try and automate it. Certain investment houses can get you on a monthly direct debit. So they automatically on a given day move the money to an account. That is where I think this person's solution is. Don't have access to the money. Put it away immediately. And when you have less money, you have more control.
Okay, Elika, you leave us with maybe some few tips that every low-income earner should abreast themselves with, should know in these times.
Okay. Just a few. First is, I know it's tough. You are spending, and it's not like you are balling out. You are spending on things that are absolutely necessary, and it will seem like there's no space to save. But if Christians are familiar with tithing, if you can put away 10% of your income, you can invest. You can. I wouldn't even say save. Start with saving. Put the money away, but quickly invest it. Because savings is not enough. So you can build that culture. Pay yourself first. Immediately your income comes in, start moving the money somewhere else. All right, invest it. Secondly, watch your lifestyle. Stick to the basics. If it's biscuit you like, stick to rich tea. Don't upgrade to digestive. Don't upgrade to digestive chocolate. And some of these things, they may seem so simple, but that's really what gets people
as you go,
going.
the taste also grows. So, Charlie.
And you see, that's why money is about psychology.
Yeah.
Because if you bring me as a fund manager money to invest, I would invest that money all right. But the thing is, you could have brought me more money if you had kept your behavior in check, right? So it's all about behavior. And even if you bring me the money, if you don't control your spending, chances are you come back in 3 months, although we had planned for a year, you come back in 3 months and say, I need the money urgently, and poof, your investment is gone. So you really need to control yourself. Save a little, and trust me, in 5 years, you'll be better off. You will be better off.
I don't know if stocks and bonds are appropriate for low-income earners.
They are. In fact, stocks and bonds are. Bonds, it's a growing market.
Right.
I think a better way to get into it is through the mutual funds. I mentioned the 20-year. It's based on these bonds. So it gets complicated. So I'll just keep it plain vanilla, get into the mutual funds, right? But stocks, I wouldn't encourage you to get in directly. It's very risky business. You put in 1,000 cedis, tomorrow it's gone to 900.
Yeah.
See, People, for 2021, people were talking about farm milk did 300% plus in returns in 1 year. But guess what? There was farm milk in the last 3 years, up before 2021, lost about 90% of its value.
Wow.
Would you put 1,000 cedis and watch it go down to 100?
100 Ghana cedis. Yeah.
You know, but you are hearing the 300 plus, but it's not recovered all the losses. That's the kind of risk that we are talking about with stocks. But over time, they have shown to do better. So, put in money that you don't need now. Money that you can leave for 5 years. 7 years, 10 years, and let it be small amounts. Even if it's 50 cedis a month, do that. Put it there, but get equity mutual funds. Databank EPAC is one, and there are balanced funds too. I think EDC, Ecobank's EDC has a balanced fund. You can consider that. Just put that money there and honestly forget about it. When you're looking at your total assets, don't count it, because that's the key for equities: forgetting and letting them grow.
My goodness, Alaikum Kwesi Agbosu, thank you so much for enlightening us, for educating us. There are still more questions coming in, but for the sake of time, we'll have to let you go. Thank you so much. I will look forward to having a conversation with you again. I hope you have learned something. I have learned a lot, and I'm going to talk to you after this show. I have. You're still watching the AM Club right here on MX24 TV. We can't go without letting people know how to get in touch with you. How do we get in touch with you?
So I...
On social media?
Yes, on social media. I run an organization with some friends, Money Convos GH.
Money Convos GH. Where's my phone? I better follow you right now.
Yes, on Twitter. Just what we are doing, having Money Convos. And it's not about read some textbooks, no. Money Convos GH. On Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just look for us. We have regular conversations on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on the Clubhouse app. And on Mondays, we do book reviews. So Monday, 7 p.m., we are on YouTube Live. So search for us on YouTube, Money Convos. It's simple. That's what we do. We have conversations with people. And I'm also on LinkedIn, so you could message me on LinkedIn.
So Alika Magbosu on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, bro. Anyways, like I said, you're still watching the AM Club right here on MX24 TV. We're celebrating World Spoken Word Day or World Poetry Day. And here's another spoken word, Don't Fear Any Goliath, by my one and only good friend, Jeffrey Norte. We'll be back.
Te abafe te abale keji shelo kube na mi ache mini achumi noko echi mi be. See, I am David. My mission was to take care of the sheep, probably feed them and take them to sleep. My brothers were weak on the battlefield. Quite embarrassing, because you see, they had everything, swords and shield. So I went to see the King Saul. I told him I was the cure to the disease on the field. He looked at my eyeball and said, son, do you really know what your eyes saw? I'm like, King, I'm a shatter. I don't need militants to fight this Philistine. He said, damn, you brave. Take my armor, take my shield. I'm like, please, I'm saved by his grace. So I came with stones. They said, stone boy. It was time to meet there. Wood boy. Note, he was well armed. My people, he killed some. He was so hard to come. In the name of the Father and of the Son. Well, his sight was the target, but I got his forehead. It was proving so much of a torment, so I had to prove my points clear. That I'm the son of the Elohim. I've got Goliath's head. I've got Goliath's head. Now you listen. May stones and fire consume any Goliath in your life. Anything that stands against your soul, against your heights in life, against your goal. Wait, who even gave them the rights? Those monitoring foes. Anything that stands against your prosperity, against your children, against your ministry, those who started planning when they heard about the prophecy, may fire consume them, and Google Maps not even have the location to their ashes. Believer, I know sometimes we face afflictions. Listen, believer, during affliction, may we not say, Lord, I'm sick, and Lord, I'm weak, and Lord, I can't face to face with the beast. See, I know life can be tough, like a BECE compulsory question. Guess what? I've got David's answer sheet, copy and paste. Service, obedience, Holy Ghost, prayer, and faith. Now let's go for a quick commercial break. This piece was sponsored by the boss at the film, because it be e-way film interest. 10 times now I be dolu. If your God doesn't function for great insight, me that you know they're the same level. Nah, me my own be a bow everywhere they show level. Now send one is Sadiki, Bob one is Sadiki Kamansa. Hear me say, me not come here to sweet chat here. Words can describe to him beauty, him over all beyond your thinking. Don't fear any Goliath. Be a David. You're done now. It's Jeffrey Norte.
March is here, and on MX24, it's GH Month. As part of the month-long activities to celebrate exceptional Ghanaian products and services, we're organizing a 2-day pop-up shop and sales exhibition, the Ghana Independence Fair, happening on the 26th and 27th of March 2022 at MX24, Silicon Square, Boundary Road, East Legon. It'll be 2 days of sales exhibitions, workshops, pitch sessions, a food fair, and open-air concert. Get your stand now. Exhibit and benefit from a month-long exclusive promotional package for Ghanaian-owned businesses. Visit mx24online.com to register your business now. You can also call 055 0500 555 or 024 235 5956. The Ghana Independence Fair on the 26th and 27th of March. Buy Ghana to grow Ghana.
Need the best of in-depth analysis, top personality interviews, trending and breaking news all come your way. I'll be serving you with football conversations, life-hearted, lifestyle-related conversations, all on Off the Cuff. Join me, Derek Aim, this and every Monday to Friday between 4 and 5 p.m. only on MX24 TV.
If you're into content production for digital or TV, say hello to the MX24 Studios. We're the prime location for your music video shoots, live productions, TV shows, and more. From state-of-the-art equipment to a very skilled production team, we've got you covered. Step into our modern and spacious studio with a changeable lighting system and foolproof sound. Our touchscreen studio projection monitors come with other features, including Wi-Fi connection, screen mirroring, and a remote workspace mode. Take advantage of our high-quality cameras to shoot in 4K and a variety of the best lighting equipment guaranteed to put life into your sets. Locate us on the first floor of the Silicon House building off the Boundary Road, East Legon. Give us a call on 024-235-5956 or 054-454-8612. You can also email us at info@mx24gh.com. If you're into content production,
Let's say I have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to leave an impression on your mind. How about I spend the first minute calling you names and the second explaining why? See, you are nothing. You are nothing but a phony. A complete failure for lack of a much better expression. See, you are the very definition of matter. You have weight and just occupy space. You're a waste. And a pain in some place, censorship wouldn't allow me to state you a disgrace to the totality of the human race. See, mere thoughts of you leave me with a lingering migraine. You're so dumb, you probably wouldn't even pass a blood test. See, people like you have no future. Not even in an example, I wish you were sterile, so you don't have to pass your genes to other people. See, you walk around with the head, but no sense, not even a sense of humor. You deserve to die. There will be one less idiot in the world's population. See, stupidity must be drawing inspiration from none other than your very own disposition. I mean, don't you see it yourself when you look at your mirror's reflection? Please, I beg you, never give advice to anyone. You might be altering a solution. You have no say. You can't even hold a regular expression. The only clause you know is Santa. These are no hateful words. I'm really trying to hold back my anger. See, I usually try to see the best in others, but looking at you,
I can literally see the best in others. Who made you? God or an app? You look more like a control experiment. You're a standard deviation. No, I'm not just being mean. Look, honestly, I could compile a whole database of your folly, but see, no disk can store, so let me stall. Well, I've barely begun introducing you, and my minute is up already, so I gotta switch. So why do I call you these names, you ask? Well, nothing. Yeah, right, nothing. No, seriously, nothing. I mean, this is what we do for a living. It's a movement. We simply hate on the progress of random people, and we don't even know why we do. See, those insults I hurled at you, I only had to think of myself to let them off. Maybe that is the reason I pick on you, because I can never be like you, though I try so hard. So if you can't beat them, break them. That is the brand. See, I said it's a whole movement. So there are many more of my kind in your school, your work, your community, your Facebook, your Twitter, even in your mind. Just waiting for you to give it all up. And gravity does the rest. It brings it all down to zero. Now what does that make us? Heroes. See, I shouldn't be confessing this, but hey, you still fall for it anyway. Because people's thoughts and comments about you matter more to you than yours. And people's disapproval of you determines whether or not you move on to the next cause, of course. See, we are the kind of ladders that insult you for every step you take on us, and once you listen, you never climb. See, we judge your life's book by the cover of another book, and guess what? We bring that book to judge you by. So if you do something good, we talk. If you do something bad, we talk. In fact, if you do nothing at all, we still talk anyway. So when we tell you that you are not good enough, what we really don't want to say is, we wish we were like you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Vitus, please. Thank you very much. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you're still watching the AM Club right here on MX24 TV now. What do you make of that? You know what, before I come into that, let me still remind you that as part of the month-long activities to celebrate exceptional Ghanaian products and services, MX24, we're organizing a 2-day pop-up shop and sales exhibition. The Ghana Independence Fair happening on the 26th and 27th of March 2022 at MX24 Silicon Square on the Boundary Road here in East Legon. It will be 2 days of sales exhibitions, workshops, pitch sessions, a food fair, and open-air concert. I beg your pardon. Get your stand now. Exhibit and benefit from a month-long exclusive promotional package for Ghanaian-owned businesses. For more info, please visit mx24online.com to register your business now. You can also call the following numbers: 055 0500 555 or 024 2355 956. The Ghana Independence Fair, by Ghana to grow Ghana. And, ladies and gentlemen, please help me again welcome my guest for the plug on this morning's AM Club show, Vitus Speaks. My goodness, there was a lot of things you were saying there, and I wanted to chip in, but I couldn't because, and now I'm trying to remember, the words were just intricately woven. You know what?
Thank you.
Let me remind our viewers that it's World Poetry Day today, and the United Nations adopted the World Poetry Day in 1999 in Paris with the aim of supporting linguistic diversity through poetic expressions and also giving opportunity to languages that are endangered to be heard. So it's exciting to hear Vitus speak. And you said something. You said, we're going to judge your life's book by another book. Is that what you said?
Yes, and we bring that book to judge you by.
Oh my goodness. So let's talk about poetry. It's just an amazing art form. Yeah. And I want to know how long you've been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
And at what point did you think or felt like it's something I want to venture into?
Okay, so I started doing poetry somewhere in high school. I discovered the arts through social media at the time, and I fell in love with it. I felt that was something I could relate with, and so I started doing it as a hobby, but along the line I felt like there was something greater to it for me. That was somewhere in the university where I felt like I could actually build a career around this because I love it, and I felt like this is an instrument that I could use to make impact in the world.
And you are one of the known names when it comes to poetry in this country.
Thank
You're such an amazing poet. Let me ask, what is your process like?
My creative process?
Yes, what's your creative process like?
So basically I get the topics I write about from anything and everything around me. I'm a person that loves to talk. I love to share my ideas, my insights. And so the various things that happen in and around influence the pieces that I write. And so sometimes I can get an idea from maybe my everyday activities to write on a particular subject, and so I'll do the research on it. I'll first have to go do research, and then have what exactly I want to talk about, and then I'll determine what style I want it to take. Because sometimes you can have a message, but if it's not well expressed, it doesn't make the maximum impact. And so what style I want it to take. And then I think I spend most time in thinking about it than actually writing it down. The writing process is just the final bit of it. So it's in thinking about it, the creative process of how this thing will be delivered, and I picture the audience and all of that. I do all of that in my mind, and at the end of the day, I just have to pen that down.
You know, last week I spoke with a poet, and he said that poets are disappointed rappers. do you believe that?
Well, no, not for all of us, though.
Did you ever wanted to rap at all?
No. I love music, though, but I never wanted to pursue a rap career. No.
So, Righteous, what does poetry mean to you as a person?
So, borrowing the words of Amanda Gorman, she said something that I so agree with, that poetry represents or acts as a representation of the past that we stand on and the future that we stand for. Poetry for me is an instrument of expression, because with the art of poetry, I can make a very simple thing sound more complicated, or a very complex thing sound much simpler. So I have control over my audience as I deliver. One thing I love to see is my audience move through different facial expressions and emotions and all of that as I deliver. And so for me, it's an instrument. It's an instrument of change. It's an instrument of impact. It can cause me to drive my audience from one emotional state to another. And that gives me a sense of fulfillment.
And that kind of imbibes in me, or it kind of reminds me of acting as an art form, or even comedy.
Exactly.
As an art
Every
form.
art form, exactly.
It's so powerful.
Powerful as a tool.
You know? And so what do you make of poetry in Ghana so far?
So far, I'd say it's growing. Every art form that has gained prominence and relevance in Ghana started from somewhere. We were speaking of rap just a few minutes ago. Rap music some years ago was not as renowned as it is now, and it took the hard work of some. So poetry is not where it ought to be, but it's growing. Over the years, we've moved from various spaces to be where we are now. Now poetry is being recognized on various stages, various events, corporate events, churches, various platforms, and that is growth. So we've come from far, we've come somewhere, and we are still pushing it further.
How challenging is it for you?
Well, it is, because there are a lot of stereotypes around the arts. Myself, even before I ventured...
Stereotypes?
Yes.
For spoken word?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So, like I was saying, myself, before I entered into the art, I felt this is a boring art.
Right.
Yes. But after listening to a few artists, I realized that no, I have certain, mindsets about the arts that I don't know where it came from, but there are a lot of people that have these mindsets. They may not have experienced poetry the way I have, or the way they should have, but they have certain mindsets concerning the art. And so if given the opportunity, we can change those mindsets for them. So being able to break those biases has been a challenge sometimes.
That's a good one. I like the punchline, breaking the bias. And would you say poetry is a lucrative art form here?
Yeah, it's growing. I'll say it's growing in its returns. It's not where it ought to be, but it's growing in its returns. And also the poets are also working. We are refusing to accept mediocrity, and so we are pushing the envelope.
Can we live off poetry?
There are a lot of artists doing that. There are a lot of poets that do poetry full-time. I don't do poetry full-time, but there are a lot of poets in Ghana that do poetry full-time and are able to live a comfortable life.
I know Negro True. Is it Negro True? There's this poet called Negro True.
Okay.
There's Sully Breaks.
Yeah.
There's who are your influences when it comes to poetry?
So Sully Breaks has been one great influence. Prince E.A. has been another great influence, and that's on the international front. Sully Breaks was actually one of the first poets I came into contact with, and then others like Jefferson Beth, Prince E.A., and a host of others. And so they greatly shaped my pattern, the pattern that I took in terms of poetry.
Vitus, how can we use poetry, your art form, something I can see you're very passionate about, for natural transformation?
Okay, so like I said before, that poetry is a thing of expression. Sometimes I find it amazing how people could doze off in especially the youth, could doze off maybe in a talk, representation or something, but their ears perk up when a poet is delivering a piece. And so it's easy to have the attention once you are using the art. That's the beauty of art anyway. And so what we can do is the leverage of that power that art has, the power that art wields, to put whatever messages of change that we want to spread across. Because sometimes the messages that the politicians want to get across, the messages that the preachers want to get across, that are finding it difficult to do, we can leverage off the power of art, the power that art wields, whether comedy, including poetry, to pass that message across, and they'll give us their attention.
Whew. Now, if you could change anything in poetry in this country when it comes to spoken word, the spoken word industry in Ghana, what would it be?
I'll change the fact that...
will it be breaking the bias like you said earlier?
Well, that as well. But I'll change the fact that poetry is treated as an occasional art, in the sense that poetry is the bias is like it's you know, given certain spaces in which it can operate in, and other spaces we don't see poetry to be fit enough for certain stages. I think if given the opportunity, there are so many things we can do with the art, irrespective of the platform, irrespective of the spaces. We can push poetry into the spaces that we least expect.
Writers, in my intro, I did say that one of the main purposes of the United Nations adopting the World Poetry Day was to support linguistic diversity and to also create opportunities for endangered languages to be heard. But one thing I've noticed when it comes to spoken word in this country is just a handful of people who are doing it in a local dialect. You know, what do you make of that?
So, yeah, like you rightly said, that's true. Well, I wouldn't say a handful. There are quite a lot of people, actually. But the thing is, for you to do poetry is, like I said, it's a thing of expression. Expression of language. So you need to have mastery of the language to be able to do poetry in a certain language. I happen to have mastery, a certain level of fluency in the English language. And so that would be my most comfortable point of expression. But for others that have control over the local language, I love what they do, and I think we should see more of that. There are a lot of artists that actually do that, but I think it's a great avenue to project our languages, our culture to the world on the international front.
Well, can you dare try it in a local language? What other language are you fluent in?
Maybe a bit of Tree.
You speak what tribe are you?
I'm from the north.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, but you can't speak your language.
Not fluently.
We are together on this one. I can't speak Ewe well too.
So what I sometimes do is I drop a few lines in various languages in there, but I can't do a whole piece, at least not yet, in a local dialect.
Spoken word is becoming very innovative, and I see a lot of collaborations with other art forms, movies, music. I see that happening a lot. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think that is one way by which we can push the art into different spaces. Yeah, a lot of musicians now, most of their intros for their albums would probably be
the highest album had that with Sully Breaks. Yeah,
with Sully Breaks on it. I think Akwaba's album has a lot of other musicians are putting spoken word in there, and so I think we should push it more. And that is the way we can connect to different audiences, because certain people may love a certain art form. And like I said, they probably did not know that they could fall in love with poetry until we push it there. So if we are able to push spoken word poetry into movies, into other art forms, the lovers of those art forms will be able to recognize that, well, this is something that I can actually listen to. This is something that I could actually have a playlist on my phone of poets and listen to them. And so we need to continue that.
Is there any artist you'd like to work with?
Whoa. Definitely would love to do something with Sully Breaks. I mean, someone who...
That would be big.
Yes, that would be huge. And I'll definitely love to do something with Sully Breaks. I don't see why not.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, I'm sure it's going to happen pretty soon. But do you want to leave us with some last words?
Okay, so what I'll say is that people should keep supporting the arts. Like I've said, that there are different forms of poetry. Don't just be limited to what you've heard. Try and just take time out and search. Like the Ghanaian poets, there are amazing crop of new artists that are doing amazing with the art. You may just fall in love with the art. So just take time off to come and see what we are doing. Tonight, we have the Ghana Poetry Association is putting together an event where we have a host of poets passing through to deliver pieces. It's a free event. It's happening at Powerhouse. If you're free, just come out and just listen and enjoy the beautiful art.
Where is Powerhouse?
It's at Ridge, North Ridge.
North Ridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Opposite Accra Girls.
Right. Oh, great. I think I'll try and make it
definitely
to that. But I have a question here for you. It says, what is the title of his poem. Please, I'm linking inside Akimoda Manso.
The poem I delivered?
You just delivered.
Okay, so that poem is titled The Movement. The Movement. So you can check it out on my YouTube.
Movement.
The YouTube.
And in all your words, which one would you say is your favorite?
My favorite, I think, is a piece I did on Africa. I called it, the title is quite controversial. Africans complain too much about slavery.
Africans complain too much about slavery. You'll be surprised that I share your sentiment. So you're going to leave us with that piece.
Okay.
But to follow you, where do we go to on social media?
Okay, so across all social media, the handle is Vitus Speaks. VITUSSPEAKZ. It's one word, and it's with a Z, not an S. So Vitus Speaks across all social media. And then the website is vitusspeaks.com. And then my YouTube is also Vitus Speaks. That's the channel.
Okay, so before we even let you perform, I understand we have... Okay, but well, so you're going to leave us with that poem. You said
Africans complain too much about slavery.
Africans complain too much about slavery. Wait, before you even tell us, why that poem?
Well, I think if I talk about it, I'll give too much away.
something must have sparked it. Like,
well, yes. Well, yes.
You're tired of the system.
I don't want to give too much away, but I'd say what sparked it is a lot of talk about certain things that we can't change about our history, but we can change about certain things that we can do about our present, which we are not doing, but we are still dwelling on the past.
On the past.
And so that is what sparked that piece.
Vitus, please, take us away.
All right. Well, I came to shake some African tables, because someone has to hear something. See, this piece might offend many, but who's counting? I think you Africans complain too much about slavery. I'm just saying. First off, whose fault was it? No, wait, I don't seek to make light of the effect of those dark years on the African continent, but reason with me. If you spend too much time complaining about how you were enslaved in the past, you may actually be blinded to the modern ways in which you're still being enslaved. For instance, how slavery of the past was physical, but now it's mental. Like how I can make you think that my products are better than anything your country can ever produce, and so you haven't really got it until you import mine. Like how I can make you think that all your heroes are villains, and my heroes will soon come to rescue your land after they are done rescuing mine. Like how Alexander the Great is described as a conqueror for conquering, but Shaka Zulu is labeled a bloodthirsty barbarian for doing the exact same thing. Like how your queen mothers are localized, but our queen is globalized. Like how Spider-Man is called a superhero, but Kwekwanas is called a superstition. Like how I can make you think that every aspect of your culture is primitive, and every aspect of mine is called modernization. Like how Jigbodi is not a cool name to give to your child, but once you call her Patience, she can move mountains. Like how I can make you think that you aren't really married until you have a white wedding. Like how I can make you think that you need my engineers to erect your mega structures, but since you can't afford them, you need my loans to pay them. Africa, wake up. How long until you realize that we never really ended slavery? We rebranded it. And while you were busily lamenting on the effect of the transatlantic slave trade, see, we found a new way to do it. How's that for smart? Now that's strategy. From physical slavery to mental slavery. Well, guess what's next? Spiritual slavery. But you all ain't ready for that conversation. So let's leave that for another day. For in the words of James Bowen, God gave Noah the rainbow as a sign that there'll be no more rain. Because it's going to be fire next time. Thank you.
Ah, goodness gracious. Okay. Ooh. Stimulating words. In the words of who, Bowie?
James Bowen.
James Bowen. Bowen.
Yes.
Say that again.
So in the words of James Bowen, God gave Noah the rainbow as a sign that there would be no more rain. Because it's going to be fire.
And that's what the Bible says. It's going to be fireworks. That's fire and brimstones. Wow, that is very powerful. Spiritual slavery is the next level, but we are not ready for that conversation, are we?
Not at all.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? We are not going to let you go just yet.
Okay.
Because we have another poet
Okay.
online, and we want to speak with him. Hello, 100%.
How you doing?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
We day
here like that. It's AM Club. Welcome to the AM Club. And I have Vitus here with me, but we are celebrating World Poetry Day. Such an amazing day, I must say. Do you know before now? I didn't know there was a World Poetry Day.
Really?
So, how are you celebrating World Poetry Day 100%?
Well, I think, as you can see, Vitus, a big shout out to Vitus. We are really moving around as poets, different media establishments to share, emphasize on the importance of poetry. So that's really what's happening the whole day, in fact. And the evening will be commemorating this with an evening at Powerhouse of Poetry. That'll be from 6:30 going, and that is with the Poetry Association of Ghana in partnership with Ghana Association of Writers.
100%. Is it okay to ask you how poetry has contributed to your life personally?
I think since that's a funny question, because my mind just creatively goes to the fact that I am sure poetry was utilized in all of us being born. I'm sure our fathers and our mothers spoke some form of poetry to each other, and we ended up being born in one way. But that's a light way of looking at it. But for me, I've been doing poetry for like 20 years now, and I do it professionally now. I see it as a medium that helps me on different dimensions, and from a healing perspective as an uplifting piece of art, and also entertainment. So poetry is multifaceted. So and for me, I like saying that now. Like when I was thinking about the questions, like why is even poetry important, I realized that this is a craft that I use to hold memory. You know, with a poem, you're able to jump back in time, jump into the future, see certain things, smell. It activates the senses like no other, and helps you to treasure memories. So that's why I'll say poetry is important, and what poetry has done for me over the years.
Indeed, and for me, I like to know what makes up a person, and we are made up of lots of influences. So who are your influences?
Oh, my influence, I mean, for me starting, it was Saul Williams. Saul Williams is an American spoken word artist and poet. I saw him in a movie earlier on, and he really tickled my mind on poetry. And also, I'll say Stu T. He used to be known as Tumi, and he's an essay-based rapper. But he started out where there's a particular poem he has, Yvonne, which really got me saying I want to do spoken word. As well, we've got within our circles here. You've got from Nana Sasirai, Sunny, Emma, Pyoko. Each of them inspire me in different ways. Maybe not particularly in the same craft that I'm in, but the subject matter and the things that they talk about definitely move me into a direction whereby I'm like, look, I want to be a better version of myself as a poet.
The interesting thing is that in hearing about your influences, I don't hear some old Ghanaian name in there. Is it because our old poets were not that influential, were not that strong? Because if you go to Nigeria, you find lots of people, but over here, I don't hear lots of poets being named among the poets, honestly.
No, you're right, and it's not because of any. I mean, unfortunately, with the schooling that I did, and I was reading Robert Frost and Pablo Neruda. That's what we're doing in literature. Unfortunately, for the schools I went to, I was not exposed to the poets of old, and that doesn't. So if I'm being true to what brought me to poetry, unfortunately, it wasn't these great names. That doesn't mean that they are not. That doesn't mean they are not great, because my influences are what make me produce the kind of art I produce. So you'd realize with some of the other poets, their influences are some of these great people, and you can tell from the poetry that they produce that they are influenced by these great names. But then again, it doesn't make them any less. You understand me? It's just that it's a big bowl of soup of different flavors in it.
Oh my goodness, let me read some few comments that have come in for you guys. This one says, I'm also a poet. What's his name again? Well, the guy in studio is Vital Speaks, and then we have 100% over the phone. This one says, the title of his poem is Tales of a Dreamer. So he shares a poem here. I don't have time to read it out. I'd love to read it, my brother, but I don't have time to read it right now. This one says, please, can you ask him if he can write for rappers? That's Odum Junior from Accra. You need a ghostwriter. Do you, Vitus, do you write? Can you write for rappers?
I have written for a few rappers. I wouldn't name names, but yes, I do write for rappers as well. But I at the end, the composition will have to be done by the rapper.
Right. And let me announce that we have Fusua, who is also a spoken word artist, joining us. You're late to the conversation, but
yes,
it's okay. How are you celebrating? We have 100% online. How are you celebrating World Spoken Word Day?
I actually just left 100, so we're coming from another spot. Today is our day, so we're roaming and chilling.
Yes, you can see.
and chilling in town. So it's been a media tour this morning, and basically that, and we're crowning it in the evening at Powerhouse with, call it a poetry exchange or a soiree, whatever you'd want to call it. But we're having our time and celebrating the art form in the best way that we can tonight as well.
I'm curious to know, is there a difference between spoken word and poetry?
Well, spoken word is performance poetry. Yeah, poetry is a literary art. Spoken word is performance poetry. So it's an art that, it's performance. Yeah.
Okay, but it can be used interchangeably?
Well, it depends. It depends on how it is. Yeah, but spoken word is performance poetry.
Interesting.
But I think another way to look at it is also to look at it in the strict sense of how some poetry are for the book, for the pages.
Yeah.
Others come alive when it takes to the stage. And some poetry sticks to a very rigid outline. It has to follow a certain meter, it has to follow a certain rhyme scheme. But spoken word allows free verses and ranges that doesn't necessarily conform in the strictest of senses to the actual structure academically to poetry. So that could also be another way to look at it.
Guess what? I just learned something new. 100%, you wanted to say something?
Yes, what I wanted to say is poetry is pretty much the umbrella. Spoken word is a subset of poetry. But Emma's definition of spoken word being more free verse, rebellious in the sense that it doesn't stick to a particular, form, stanza that is on paper. And also with performance-wise, it seems to lend itself to free speaking. So sometimes it's very difficult to tell whether the person is actually performing or the person is just freeing their mind. That's usually what is termed as spoken word. I hope that helps.
Absolutely. And while we are counting the gains and all the successes you guys have chalked in the spoken word or poetry industry, let's talk about some of the failures, if there are any. What is the word? Have you ever frozen on stage?
Oh, it happens.
You freeze on stage?
Yeah. But I think over time we have grown in how to handle it.
Right.
Because a lot of times you don't know the piece I'm doing. I do. So I can work around it.
So you're able to be very creative about it.
Exactly.
What's your worst, can you encounter, how do I put this? Can you remember any worst moment ever?
I don't think I've ever frozen on stage. With my style, you can barely, you can't freeze on stage because I'm more of a freestyle poet, so I take to the stage and I create in the moment, which means that when they are done giving me what I have to work with, I quickly have to create on the spot. I dread the day that I would go blank and not know what to say. But I think for the biggest struggle has been post stage. So after I step off the stage, now I have to assess what I said on stage. Did it make sense? Was it deep enough? Did it carry the message I wanted to convey? Does it represent the values I stand for? That has always been my struggle, post stage, not really on stage, and so yeah.
Again, I'm curious, and then I think I should ask you guys. So when poetry or spoken word is sung, is this still poetry? Or when it's sung, it becomes music?
There's poetry in everything. All of life is a poem. All of life as we see it is a poem. What is poetry? It's really giving expression to our common humanity. Okay. It is putting language to the various questions on our minds, the contemplations we face daily, the fears we have as people. And as long as there's going to be a living, breathing human being on earth, there's going to be poetry.
So then it's safe to say that some music can be described as poetry.
It is, yes. It's poetry with rhythm. Music.
Just the same way some people are requesting that the poet writes a rap for him, then that's poetry. It's just that he would compose it into a rap.
Okay, now to the two of you, I think 100%, are you still on? No, I don't think we haven't, but how far is too far when it comes to spoken word? Do you think, like, it has been questioned several times that no art form should be regulated, so how far would you say is too far when it comes to spoken word or poetry? Are there areas you shouldn't venture? Are there things we shouldn't say? Should they be regulated? Or people should be given the absolute and total freedom of expression when it comes to spoken word?
The truth is, I feel like arts shouldn't be limited in any way. Unlike sports that is very objective, arts is purely subjective. An artist should not be limited in any way. But we live in an age where there's a lot of, need to be politically correct and all of that, and that poses as a challenge for us. That's actually one of the challenges we sometimes face, having to craft your work in such a way that it is politically correct and, acceptable. But art should not be limited. That obstructs the free flow of art.
So don't you think if art is not regulated to a certain extent, it could create some form of chaos? Because then, for instance, for painters or for performers, for actors, there's nudity, there's, anybody can do anything and call it art, right? So don't you think to some extent there should be some form of regulation or a cap to keep it, within the confines, or it should be let out totally?
To some extent, I lean towards freedom of speech, but I'm also very cautious of the moral conduct or the moral code or the moral fiber of our people. And so if there's any regulation, it probably should be in the upbringing of a child. We're taking it back to the basics, because what I represent as a grown adult is what I would say. I can't pour from an empty wine sack. So whatever I fill myself with is what I pour out. That's how I look at my poetry. So if at the core of my being, my value system is based on preserving the moral fiber, is based on educating, is based on inspiring, then yes, definitely you would hear that most of my pieces are contained or they come in a certain form or vehicle. But the artist shouldn't be restricted to what can be said. If we're going back to the description of what I said, that it's given expression to our common humanity, then everything we experience as human beings needs to be given expression to. And so nudity in its sense, you won't take to a corporate stage and be talking bluntly.
Right.
You would find a way to say what you want to say if that is the situation or the concept you have to speak to. You would find a way to present it in a way that is palpable. and
I'm glad you say it, right? That's all the time. Yes, 100%. We have to run, but you can chip in quickly so that we go.
Okay, what I just wanted to say is that the audience matters. So if you're doing something and there's an audience for it, hey, it's going to fly. But that also speaks to what the morality of the people, that's the audience and performer together. Now, if you do something and the audience is not happy with it, you stop doing it. So it's that double-edged sword issue that we see within poetry. Don't regulate it, but the audience will tell you whether it's good or not. And sometimes the audience doesn't know better, so then it speaks to society as a whole and call it cancer that we are dealing with.
I can't wait to join you guys tonight at Powerhouse. You said the time is 6:30 p.m. and it's free. It's open to everybody. Yes. Come and enjoy yourselves, guys. It's a fine way to wind down and enjoy your evening. It's World Poetry Day. So is it safe to say Happy World Poetry Day?
Well, thank you.
Happy World Poetry Day. I know where to follow Vitus, but where can we follow you, Sheila?
It's at Emma Ofosua on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and Emma_Ofosua on Twitter.
Beautiful. And 100% you?
The HONDRED 100 with HONDRED% PERCENT together on all social media platforms.
100%. That's right. Thank you, guys. Let's say a big thank you to everybody who's been part of the show today. This is where we draw down the curtains. I'd like to say a big thank you to Kevoy B for bringing us entertainment news on MX Breaks on Coffee Daily. And I also like to say a big thank you to my guest, Elike Magbasu, on Lifestyle Daily, where we discussed financial management for young entrepreneurs and low-income earners. And then on The Plug, we had a conversation with these amazing poets as we celebrate World Poetry Day. That is Vitus Speaks, Fosua, and then 100% who is with us on phone. Unfortunately, we couldn't have our Motivation Monday guest, Sheila, all the way from Uganda because she's locked up somewhere. But we'll do well to bring you that conversation. But guys, thank you so much for staying with us. It's been a fun run on the AM Club today. I miss Edma already. She's going to be here with me tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that show. Tomorrow is Travel Tuesday. Remember, this week we are celebrating the Volta region. Mi miokata menao akpe if I'm saying it well. My name is Godwin Namboh. If you missed any part of the show, do go to our YouTube channel at MX24GH to subscribe, like, share, and watch what you missed on the show. But my name is Godwin Namboh. I'll catch you same time tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the AM Club. Please have a beautiful day. And then we'll leave you with a performance from Opusua. We can't go without it. Yeah. I'm not letting you go without a performance. Okay. So was it? You didn't see it coming.
I didn't see that coming.
No, but you won't leave us without a performance, certainly. So we'd like to hear from you. 100% thank you. Ready? Opusua?
Yeah, just give me words. I think this will be my biggest challenge.
Yes, where Sheila. I keep calling you Sheila.
Yeah, I probably look like a Sheila.
No. We're supposed to host a Sheila today. Maybe that's why. Okay. Anyways, so here we go.
So this one is okay.
Vitals, moral support. Moral support.
I call this Sister by Soul. Sister by Soul. We learned to build walls and labeled them boundaries, latched onto the phrase women are their own enemies without knowing why, rode the accord in solos, never carpooling, our tunes always sounding off-key in discord because we're never in one accord. Self-made mercenaries, measuring the bond that could be in the name of pulling in accolades that we survived solo. Deep in the illusion of company, we've rubbished the need for real company and how far we can journey if we did so in unity. Once, traveling at night, I got lost in a book sitting in the passenger seat of a car, commuting with a host of imaginary guests, ignoring a real connection, lulled by the noise of the motion into an illusion of serene weightlessness. Then, the driver took a turn too fast and I woke to see the world spinning outside the car windows. I saw nothing else, not my life's reel, not the face of any lover, not friends, not the driver. It was a prolonged period of defending silence, traveling with company and still alone.
March is here, and on MX24, it's GH Month. As part of the month-long activities to celebrate exceptional Ghanaian products and services, we're organizing a 2-day pop-up shop and sales exhibition, the Ghana Independence Fair, happening on the 26th and 27th of March 2022 at MX24, Silicon Square, Boundary Road, East Legon. It'll be 2 days of sales exhibitions, workshops, pitch sessions, a food fair, and open-air concert. Get your stand now. Exhibit and benefit from a month-long exclusive promotional package for Ghanaian-owned businesses. Visit mx24online.com to register your business now. You can also call 055 0500 555 or 024 235 5956. The Ghana Independence Fair on the 26th and 27th of March. By Ghana to grow Ghana.
Girl, you blow my mind and go for the way you do. 'Cause I think about you all the time and all of the things you do. Girl, you make out a Rico. You make a Rico. Girl, you make out a Rico. You make a Rico. Some men say, oh, dog, I'm in the
My niggas say when them say watch your blog. And you know for gazing in this corner, bro. Before you cap the Lamborghini truck, making sure that we drip in the when you plug. My niggas say when them say watch your blog. And you know for gazing in this corner, bro. Before you cap the Lamborghini truck, making sure that we drip in the when you plug. You know that drip is very necessary. Anytime you pull up, you gotta be scary. Savannah shopping, I be some mini pateri. Woody Gucci do now copy Kula Perry. I used to rock fakes, now we turned up. 450 on the fucking 10 top. It's like an addiction, nigga, we can't stop. If you can relate, let me see your hands up. About the dripping, now nigga, we get more. We'll be back Kevin Louis, but I said no. Cause everybody be rocking the same shit. I would rather pull up in the fucking vet more. To see how the dripping, oh, we know the big brands. Minye sika klara, no big plans. Rolling up the ripples in the wristband. Pass away the pain, they are distance.
Finally, I see your face. Ooh, oh my days. I've been out here looking for you for days. Ooh, ooh, I just want to say, my hair, you pay for my hair. I know fit to reset, I know fit to connect. Within your back, say make a defend. I know fit to defend, even if I play defense. I won't comport myself, I can't. I fall for you down flat. I fall for you down flat. Now who no you bad. I swear you bad. I swear you bad. No give me long thing, something wicked there for your body now. No. I did for the mountain waiting for so long. Oh no. My hair, you take for my hair. I know fit to reset, I know fit to connect. Waiting your back, say make a defend. I know fit to defend, even if I play defense. I won't comport myself, I can't. I fall for you down flat. I fall for you down flat. Waiting I go do for you. Get the out of my mind. Out of my mind. Waiting I go do for you.
Oh my God, that's what it's Friday. So right after here, we are definitely going clubbing because the way the energy is lit in the studio is a Friday night. Why is your face like that?
You and who?
All of us, you know, we chill every Friday.
When was the last time you went to the
all
club?
Through the weekend, we are out there partying. Don't make it look odd. Come on, don't be like that. Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to your favorite evening talk show. Tonight, it is the Booking Pen edition of the Dish right here on MX24. We're coming to you live from our studios here at the Silicon Square in East Legon on the Boundary Road. And yes, we're here to have fun, but aside that, we'll be talking about one pressing issue that a writer wrote to us, and that we'll just take opinions and views, ideas and all of that, and how we can actually relate to it in our own lives. So yeah, if you haven't read the story yet, please pick up your device, go on to MX24GH page on Instagram and then go read the story. That's Booking Pen story for the week. Read it, type your opinions, your advice to this lady, and then just send it to our WhatsApp number when we put it out, and then we'll do all to read it out here for her because we know that she's actually going to do the watching and she needs all the advice that she needs. My name is Oferiwa, doing this with the one and only DJ Ellie Kev. So why are we going after here?
You and who? You are going to sleep.
I'm going to fry Killy. What are you
Yeah,
saying?
from me, I'm going to Elliot's Bar and Lounge and then Ace Tantra Nightclub.
Okay, so after Frank Kelly, I'll join you at 8. Right, so on that note, we'll go for a very quick video break, music break. When we're back, the show continues right here. Stick and stay.